Welcome to our channel Inspirational People. Today, we are going to Southeast Asia in Singapore. We are going to talk about the inspirational journey of Lee Kuan Yew. As you enjoy this video, please subscribe and click that bell to be notified whenever we post new videos, and lastly give it a thumbs up. Lee Kuan Yew, Singapore's first Prime Minister, was born on September 16, 1923, to Lee Chin Koon and Chua Jim Neo in Singapore. He was the eldest of 5 children in a family of Chinese descent, where his parents were educated in English. Lee's early life was marked by academic excellence and leadership skills, evident during his time at Raffles Institution, one of Singapore's most prestigious schools. Lee Kuan Yew's academic journey began at Telok Kurau Primary School in 1931. He later enrolled in Raffles Institution, one of Singapore's most prestigious schools. At Raffles, Lee excelled academically, demonstrating a keen interest in mathematics, science, and English. He was an active student leader, serving as the president of the school's debating society and editor of the school magazine. Lee's time at Raffles Institution played a pivotal role in shaping his leadership skills and intellectual curiosity. He was deeply influenced by his teachers, who instilled in him a strong sense of discipline and responsibility. Lee's academic achievements earned him the John Anderson Scholarship, enabling him to pursue higher education. In 1940, Lee enrolled in Raffles College, where he studied economics, history, and English literature. However, his education was disrupted by the Japanese occupation of Singapore in 1942. During this period, Lee continued to study, focusing on Japanese language and culture. He also secretly listened to Allied radio broadcasts, fostering his desire for Singapore's independence. After the war, Lee resumed his studies at Raffles College, graduating in 1945. He then traveled to England to study law at the University of Cambridge, where he was exposed to socialist and liberal ideas that further shaped his political views. Lee graduated with honours in 1949, equipped with the knowledge and skills necessary to shape Singapore's future. Lee's school life laid the foundation for his future success as a statesman and leader. His academic achievements, leadership skills, and intellectual curiosity prepared him to tackle the challenges of building a modern Singapore. Lee Kuan Yew's illustrious career began as a lawyer in 1950, after graduating from Cambridge University. He joined the law firm Lee & Lee, founded by his relatives, and soon became involved in Singapore's politics. In 1954, Lee co-founded the People's Action Party, PAP, which would become the dominant force in Singaporean politics. Lee's leadership skills and vision for a modern Singapore propelled him to the forefront of the country's politics. In 1959, he led the PAP to a landslide victory in the general elections, becoming Singapore's first Prime Minister at just 35 years old. Lee's initial term focused on merger talks with Malaya, Sabah, and Sarawak to form Malaysia. However, differences with Malaysia led to Singapore's expulsion in 1965. Undeterred, Lee steered Singapore toward independence, implementing policies on education, housing, and economic development. His pragmatic approach transformed Singapore into a prosperous nation, attracting foreign investment and fostering entrepreneurship. Lee's legacy extends beyond Singapore. He played a key role in the non-aligned movement and the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, ASEAN. His statesmanship and vision inspired leaders globally, cementing his status as one of the 20th century's most influential leaders. Lee Kuan Yew's visionary leadership transformed Singapore from a poor, post-colonial state into a thriving first-world country. Upon becoming Prime Minister in 1959, Lee implemented a comprehensive development plan, focusing on education, infrastructure, and economic growth. He established the Economic Development Board, EDB, to attract foreign investment and promote entrepreneurship, leveraging Singapore's strategic location and highly skilled workforce. To create a skilled and educated population, Lee introduced free education and established institutions like the National University of Singapore, NUS, and Nanyang Technological University, NTU. He also implemented bilingual education, emphasizing English as the primary language to facilitate international trade and commerce. Lee's infrastructure development plans included constructing Changi International Airport, expanding the port, and building a comprehensive road network. He also introduced public housing programs, such as the Housing and Development Board, HDB, providing affordable housing for Singaporeans. To tackle corruption and ensure good governance, Lee established the Corrupt Practices Investigation Bureau, CPIB, and implemented strict laws against corruption. He also introduced the concept of meritocracy, where leaders were chosen based on talent and performance. Lee's economic strategies included establishing Singapore as a financial hub, creating the Monetary Authority of Singapore, MAS, to regulate banking, and introducing policies to attract multinational corporations. His efforts led to rapid economic growth, transforming Singapore into one of the world's leading financial centers. Under Lee's leadership, Singapore's GDP per capita increased from $1,500 in 1960 to over $50,000 in 2010. Unemployment dropped from 13% to less than 2%, and the country's literacy rate rose from 60% to over 95%. Singapore's transformation into a first-world country earned Lee international recognition, with the country becoming a model for economic development and good governance. Under Lee's leadership, Singapore became a model for urban planning and environmental sustainability. He introduced the Garden City concept, transforming Singapore into a green and livable city. Lee's diplomatic efforts established Singapore as a respected player in international relations. He played a key role in the Non-Aligned Movement and the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, ASEAN, fostering regional cooperation and stability. Lee's personal life was marked by simplicity, discipline, and strong family values. He married Kuan in 1950, and they had 2 sons and a daughter. His commitment to family and nation-building remained unwavering throughout his life. Throughout his life, Lee remained focused on Singapore's progress, often stating, "The ultimate test of our system is whether it provides a better life for our people." His legacy continues to shape Singapore's growth and development. Lee inspired leaders globally with his pragmatic approach to governance, economic development, and social stability. His books, including The Singapore Story and From Third World to First, offer valuable insights into his leadership philosophy. In 1990, after 31 years of leadership, Kuan stepped down as Prime Minister, handing over to Goh Chok Tong. This marked a significant transition in Singapore's history, as Lee had been instrumental in shaping the nation. He remained influential as Senior Minister, 1990 to 2004, and later Minister Mentor, 2004 to 2011, providing guidance and counsel to his successors. During his transition, Lee ensured a smooth handover, maintaining stability and continuity. He continued to play a key role in shaping Singapore's foreign policy and economic development. Lee's legacy was cemented through institutional reforms, establishing the Presidential Council for Minority Rights and the Council of Presidential Advisors. In his later years, Lee reflected on his life and legacy, publishing several books, including The Singapore Story and From Third World to First. These memoirs offered insights into his leadership philosophy, providing valuable lessons for future generations. Kuan Yew's legacy continues to shape Singapore's growth and development. His vision, leadership, and policies transformed a poor post-colonial state into a thriving, modern nation. Today, Singapore remains a beacon of stability, prosperity, and good governance, a testament to Lee's enduring impact. After stepping down as Prime Minister in 1990, Kuan Yew remained actively engaged in Singaporean politics and international affairs. As Senior Minister, 1990 to 2004, he continued to provide guidance and counsel to his successors, Goh Chok Tong and Lee Hsien Loong. Lee's experience and wisdom helped navigate Singapore through the Asian financial crisis in 1997 and the SARS outbreak in 2003. In 2004, Lee assumed the role of Minister Mentor, focusing on strategic issues and international relations. He played a key role in promoting Singapore as a hub for international trade and investment, traveling extensively to engage with world leaders. Beyond politics, Lee devoted time to writing, publishing several books, including The Singapore Story, 1998, From Third World to First, 2000, and Hard Truths to Keep Singapore Going, 2011. These memoirs and essays offered insights into his leadership philosophy, providing valuable lessons for future generations. Lee also remained committed to his family, particularly his wife, Kuan Yew, who suffered a debilitating stroke in 2008. He cared for her devotedly until her passing in 2010. In his later years, Lee's health began to decline. He suffered from dementia and was hospitalized several times. Despite his frailty, Lee remained sharp and engaged, continuing to receive visitors and offer counsel. On February 15, 2015, Lee Kuan Yew was hospitalized at the Singapore General Hospital due to severe pneumonia. His condition deteriorated, and he was placed on mechanical ventilation. Singaporeans held vigil, anxiously awaiting updates on his health. As news of Lee's critical condition spread, tributes poured in from around the world. World leaders, including President Barack Obama, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and Prime Minister Tony Abbott, expressed admiration for Lee's leadership and legacy. On March 23, 2015, at 3:18 a.m., Lee Kuan Yew passed away peacefully at the age of 91, surrounded by his family. The news sparked an outpouring of grief across Singapore, with thousands gathering at the Istana, the presidential palace, to pay respects. Singapore declared a 7-day period of national mourning, with flags flown at half-mast. Schools, government offices, and businesses closed as a sign of respect. The nation came together to honor its founding father, remembering his tireless efforts to build a modern, prosperous Singapore. Lee's funeral procession on March 29, 2015, drew hundreds of thousands of Singaporeans, who lined the streets to bid farewell. The ceremony was attended by international leaders, dignitaries, and representatives from over 100 countries. Lee was cremated at the Mandai Crematorium, and his ashes were laid to rest at the Singapore Civilian War Memorial, alongside other national heroes. His legacy continues to inspire Singaporeans and leaders worldwide, cementing his place in history as a visionary statesman. Lee Kuan Yew's legacy is a testament to his transformative vision and leadership, which turned a poor post-colonial state into a thriving, modern nation. He instilled a sense of national pride, unity, and resilience, fostering a multicultural society that values meritocracy, discipline, and hard work. As Singapore's founding father, Lee's economic policies and strategic decisions attracted foreign investment, created jobs, and drove growth, making Singapore one of the world's most prosperous nations. His emphasis on education and innovation established Singapore as a hub for knowledge and entrepreneurship. Lee's commitment to good governance and corruption-free politics earned Singapore international recognition for transparency and effectiveness. His institutional reforms, such as the Presidential Council for Minority Rights and the Council of Presidential Advisors, ensured accountability and stability. Lee Kuan Yew will always be remembered as a leader who transformed Singapore from a poor country to a first-world country within a short period of time. Beyond Singapore, Lee's influence extends to Southeast Asia and the global stage. He played a key role in shaping ASEAN and promoting regional cooperation. His pragmatic approach to international relations and diplomacy earned respect from world leaders. Today, Singapore remains a beacon of stability, prosperity, and good governance, attracting leaders, investors, and tourists worldwide. Lee's legacy inspires future generations to build upon his foundations, ensuring Singapore's continued success. That's the inspirational story of Lee Kuan Yew. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel Inspirational People to help us make more videos like this.